Hello, this is Travis and welcome to Sliver Surfer 1. Hopefully, many of you viewing this have seen my other videos where I've taken the Zhiyun Smooth Q3 and adapted it to fit other cameras, small cameras. Well, not to fit other cameras, to fit cameras in general, because the Smooth Q3 is a mobile phone gimbal, 3-axis gimbal that works really well. So, as you've seen, I've shown you that it can withstand a long period of time with heavier than what it's rated for. It can withstand a long amount of time, so like this here. And a lot of you have also asked me to adapt the Zhiyun Smooth 4 or the Zhiyun 4. I got my hands on one of those and showed you how to adapt it to hold small cameras, little point and shoot cameras. Well, I've been getting lots of questions from everybody. All my small cameras are Sony's, but I do like other cameras. Don't get me wrong. It's just the what I'm using right now. Until, you know, if something better comes along, I might get it. But I like the Sony system because there's a lot of stuff you can do to modify it, and I like tinkering in camera. But anyways, I'm sorry, all you Canon, Nikon, Fuji, Olympus fans. This video is for you too. Okay. So far, I've made a couple brackets that only fit the Sony A6000, A5000. But I've only made and produced 2 brackets that will only fit Sony A5000, 5100, and so on brand, or the Sony A6000 up to A6500 brand. But you're in for a treat today because I've been toiling about taking measurements and testing and whatnot, and I came up with this. Okay, this little guy here. And what is this, pray tell? That little gadget is a bracket that allows you to do this. Look at that. You got a point and shoot camera here, and you've got a mirrorless camera here with the kit lens. Okay, this is the best vlogging camera, I think, but this is a good vlogging camera too. But what this allows you to do is it allows you to put any, well, almost any, there may be some cameras that don't work, but I'm pretty sure what this will allow you to do is put any camera between about 250 grams, maybe even 200, but I would say 250 to be safe, to about 400 grams, including lens. The reason why it allows you to do that is because it's so adjustable. It's got, I'm gonna put down this guy. This is Zhiyun 4. Okay. And I'll show you. It's got these adjustable slots on the bottom where you can move your camera forward and sideways. And it's got on the back this part here, okay, so it can slide back and forth. So you can slide your camera forward and you can slide this back and forth. So you can put your camera anywhere to find the proper balance on this thing. And there's a couple other things. It's got a counterbalance weight back here to help with stabilizing the whole horizontal of it. And it's got these 2 weights here. These 2 weights are very important for it because it'll cover the maximum amount of camera weight to the smallest camera weight, which is 250 grams, okay? It's enough weight to balance it perfectly. I'll show you how well balanced this is. I'm going to shut it off. See, it's off and it's not changing position. Alright, so it's not going to put any stress on it. If you want to go look at my other video where I run the A6000 on this little guy for hours, you can, and I showed you the temperature doesn't heat up at all. But yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. What we have, let me take the camera off of here. All these parts you can get. I'm going to put them on eBay and on my website. All the parts to these are 3D printed. They're strong. You can see here that this screws on the back. Here, and you can adjust the different levels. So you have this little guy. You have this little guy here. Slips right into this, and then you put this guy wherever you think, and you can slide it back and forth to get the right level wherever the camera is. This one, you can see that how it's got the hole up here. That's very important. You may think, oh, he made an error. Why is that hole off center? Well, what it does is once it's tightened on there, you can adjust the center of gravity by moving this up or down. So if it's top heavy, you move it down. If it's bottom heavy, you move it up. Okay? And that helps you fine tune the center of gravity, because these things here, they go in steps. They're not, it's not a extreme fine tuning. This will fine tune it afterwards. And this here is your basically the knob to hold it on, but it's also counterbalance as well. And it's just got enough room to get by there. Okay, so I did say that it's between 250 and 400 gram weight. Okay, not all cameras will work on it, but I'm pretty sure almost all cameras that are that weight with the lens, 400 grams and 250 will work, as long as they're not crazy tall or a weird shaped camera. You could put it on here. Now, a lot of you are asking, well, can I put my GoPro on there? And no, you can't, but you can. Okay, you have to get creative. Now let's see here. We got the, my little GoPro, clone here, and I'm gonna put it on, and you can see it, even at the furthest. What you do is you move it back and forth to get the right balance. Well, if it's under 250 grams, then you won't be able to move it far enough to get the balance. It goes straight up and down. But if you get creative, okay, you wouldn't be watching this channel if you guys weren't into the creative, the fiddling side of photography. So I'm going to show you what I did to get around it. You can do something like this. All right, I know it's not pretty, but as long as the weight adds up to 250 grams, this GoPro is about 50 grams, and this is about 200 grams. Or something like this to add extra weight. Or something like this to add extra weight. Or you can do something like this to add extra weight. So you can see it works fine. Now you can do anything from like vintage ball head tripods, tripod mounts, or brackets. You can add anything you want to it to add up to that weight, as long as it balances out. As long as when you shut it off, it doesn't fall like crazy. Okay, so yeah, you can get these on my website, which is down below, and you can get these on eBay. I'm going to start a post today on it. I've got 100% eBay so far. It might change, it might not. Doesn't really matter. I'm always you know, pretty good with the eBays, being a good guy on there. And just so you know, it is. I'm going to give a warning. I've never had a problem with doing anything like this on my gimbals. They all have held out well. If by any chance your gimbal breaks, that's not a risk that I'm responsible for. This is an experimental thing, and you will take the risk for your gimbal. But you know, if any of your parts break or anything, feel free to contact me. But I'm not going to be held responsible for the camera or the gimbal, because this is for you to experiment with. Okay, and if I were responsible for any of the risk to your gear or the gimbal, I wouldn't be doing this, and it wouldn't be available to you. Okay, so I'm going to go through the little components that are on here as well. Okay, comes with the bracket, comes with the offset counterweight, comes with the regular knob counterweight, a camera mount screw on the bottom knob. It comes with a little tiny knob here to hold on your washers for the weight. You can also, if you feel like it, if you don't want to use weight on here, you could figure out a way to add, say, a GoPro mount or some small camera mount as well. You'll only get one axis stabilization, but you could add that on the back of there if you're just to catch you know, the environment that you're walking through, if you're, you know, doing selfie with this. But yeah, with the A5000, it's probably the best one to use for this, because it's got the 180 degree screen. Okay, so if you haven't bought a gimbal yet to do this with, and this inspired you to buy a gimbal, if you're using it just for a camera, I prefer the Zhiyun 3 Smooth 3 over this one. This one I find it's a little touchier, and it doesn't do. It's got some cool things, but it doesn't rotate 360 degrees. It does like 300 and 55 or whatever. It stops. It's got a stop point. Okay, it's a good one if you're going to use it with your mobile phone and a camera at separate times. But I prefer the Zhiyun 3. It's cheaper. But the Smooth 4 is a good one as well. Okay, so thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Smash that like button. I think it's right over here. Yeah, smash that like button. Somewhere over here. And please subscribe. Alright. So yeah. Let's play a little game here. Try clicking on my camera. Try clicking on it. I'm going to tell you when to click on my camera. Click on my camera. Okay, now click on my camera. Did I trick you? If not, I feel bad now. Subscribe only if you want to subscribe.